And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to DreamHack Masters Atlanta 2022 Knockout Brackets. We're continuing our broadcast here today, and we just wrapped up covering some of the Ducklings, but now in the second half of the broadcast, we are delving off the deep end where we're getting even more crazy, even if you thought that wasn't possible.
We're getting crazy, Poppy. Crazy.
We're getting crazy. As you can see on the screen right now and the title on the Twitch channel, we are going to be delving further. You thought the NA players would get wild, and they did. We saw some one-base play, we saw some cheese, we saw some shenanigans, we saw a little bit of macro with Future getting involved as well. But now we have something different entirely. Something that some people may even say isn't StarCraft. We have we have Haas, Bobby. We have Haas.
Oh. Here we go. So it's gonna be a very stylistic Protoss in Haas. He's a player that goes for some absolutely crazy builds. Really takes some kind of the strategy side of StarCraft to its full extent.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. He's a very strategic player indeed, and he has just a very different outlook on the game. We have seen him kind of lose his kind of throne and lose his dominance in his Taiwanese region over these past year or two. I feel like Nice has really stepped it up. But these past couple of months, and I feel like Atlanta probably has something to do with it, Haas has made a bit of a resurgence.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure, unless I'm remembering wrong, I think he actually won the regional for Taiwan Hong Kong region over Nice, which is definitely a little bit unusual. Usually Nice so dominant in the region, but yeah, Haas causing a little bit of an upset against his rival there.
Yeah, and I believe a month or so ago, he even, for DreamHack, he joined a new team. Psystorm Gaming did pick him up, and he's been able to play for them in World Team League as well as a result. So yeah, Haas just getting a little bit more support recently, getting more motivation to practice, to compete, to improve, and a part of that is going to be his showing here at Atlanta.
Yeah, absolutely. But coming up against him, another player who has been making leaps and bounds, especially when it comes to the results, it is the champion, Cham.
Yeah, exactly. The newly crowned King of Latino America, papi. He dethroned Special as well to claim that title for DreamHack Atlanta. And here we go. We'll see how they shape up against each other.
Spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map. Now playing for Psystorm, this is the red Protoss. The Taiwanese Protoss. It is Haas.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Waterfall, we we have a bit of a mix-up here. I apologize. I will fix this later. We have the Mexican Zerg player representing Team GP. It is a Cham.
What did you do? You animal.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I have a mod set up, and for some reason, we have the Cuban flag right next to Cham.
Oh. I see.
Cham is not from Cuba. He's from Mexico. I do apologize, and I will make sure that is fixed for the next game.
Yeah, but here we go. Cham hiding a drone to the south. I'm not really sure why. I'm keen to find out.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's preemptively being set up to defend against a cannon rush. Haas has a reputation, so he does already have a drone here behind the mineral line, and I assume that is what this is for. We can see him even pulling a drone to swat away this probe as well. So Cham, yeah, even fighting this, he's quite paranoid about Haas's probe.
Yeah, he is very worried about a cannon rush. I've never really seen someone preemptively pull to block that area like that with absolutely no sign of the cannon rush happening.
Yeah,
that's usually something you do once you see a second probe.
Yeah, exactly. So again, it shows how powerful the reputation is of Haas. Not even just as a player, he just has this notoriety. He has this aura around him that just exudes the smell of cheese. Oh.
like cheese.
Yeah. He's a stinky boy, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
So yeah, because of that, Cham gets a little bit mind-gamed here. He's going to have a bit of an inefficient opener because there was a lot of lost mining time due to all those drones being pulled and a bit of an overreaction. He does get across the map with an Overlord. He confirms, okay, there is no forge. Everything's normal. I can expand and take a third.
So, you know, Knock Knock was telling me the other day, the Overlord does go down. Haas has been playing Age of Empires 4 and he's reached the top, the top rank tier, the Grandmaster or whatever in there in 3 weeks. And I asked him, does he play cheesy in that as well? And he's like, yeah, he does cheeses that no one else does.
There you go. Haas, he just has an outlook on the game and an outlook on life that's just a bit different. And speaking of being a little bit different, he goes for a robo opener and he follows it up with 4 more gates. Oh my god, mate, it's a charge all in. I mean, not a charge.
It's a no charge all in. Yeah. This is the slow zealot all in.
Oh, this is so gross. He did this against. Am I crazy? But he did this in World Team League, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think he just uses this build quite a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I remember I saw Pez doing it a few times. This is definitely a build that Pez rates pretty highly as well. We can see Haas is pulled completely off gas. I only really had the one gas to begin with, and yeah, it's going to be a slow zealot model all in. Cham does get a scout, but he doesn't get a full scout. He just sees some extra gateways. He should have a rough idea what's coming, and we do see him immediately throw down a Roach Warren and a Baneling Nest. I think the Baneling Nest was already on the way a little bit, but he's definitely taking this seriously.
Yeah, something that's a little bit sad, but it's the reality is that whenever I look at like Chappie's face, I think of that game on Cosmic Sapphire when Pez killed him with the slow lot all in. Smurge. But yeah, this makes a lot of sense on Waterfall. You know, Haas, he's going across the map with an Immortal and all these Zealots. He's kicking warping offensively across the map. Cham, does he have enough at home to defend? He's saying this. He has a lot of Queens. He's rallying them all towards the natural. Banelings are being morphed in now. 4 or 5 Banelings on the way.
Yeah, I've actually watched Pez do this on Korean Ladder. And it's very weird to watch. Like, it's like watching all in slow motion, and it just doesn't seem like it should work, but it's really hard to hold.
It's really hard, but you know what? So far, the first wave of Zealots gets cleaned up the Banelings. They get past this as well. They're getting some decent connections on these Zealots.
Yeah, good connections. The split's not quite there for Haas. He is going to be able to pick up, but that does mean that the Lings get some extra time attacking the Immortals, and this was a great defense from Cham.
Yeah, that was some great Baneling control there, making sure that not a single one was wasted. And the Queens forced this Warp Prism back. Haas had very limited kind of forms of control and forms of micro there, so solid defense.
Yeah, Cham stopping nice and early there on 40 drones. Definitely had a good idea of what was coming his way, and this makes things very awkward for Haas. He does still kind of have to commit to this attack. I don't think there's really a way out of this. He doesn't have a third base on the way. He doesn't have any, doesn't have charge or any Twilight tech actually at all to deal. And it does look like he's just going to be fully committing to this fight. I'm not sure if Cham's ready for the second wave though.
That's the thing, you know, Cham, was he resting on his laurels? We shall see. It looks like all these Zealots are being completely surrounded. Sure, Cham may lose his third base, but that is completely fine. Haas is not droning at all, so he's not probing. He hasn't pulled back into gas either, and he's even going to be able to get another decent surround on these Zealots.
Yeah, I have to slightly question the decision by Haas here to split up his army.
Yeah.
I do feel like if he had all his Zealots together, he might have been able to take some better trades against these Lings, but it does look like the Roaches and Lings going to be getting on top of him, but Haas with that Warp in is actually going to start to sway things in his favor.
Yeah, he's slowly snowballing. Right now is a really crucial moment for Cham. He has a lot in production. He needs it desperately. Roaches are coming out. A Queen does get trapped, and it does go down, so Haas is actually trading quite well. He's going for another Warp in.
Yeah, this warp in might just be the straw that breaks the camel's back, as it does seem like Cham is having a little bit of trouble kiting in 2 locations at once. He is going to be trying to take down this Immortal, but he just can't get that last hit on it. Nice juggle micro coming out from Haas. he is going to be able to dodge out these shots for as long as he can pay attention to it.
Yeah, another queen goes down as well. We do see a couple more roaches coming in to reinforce. They're going to be able to clean up the zealots in the natural base, but another massive warp in comes in.
Oh my god, another warp in, and this was looking so rough for Haas, but I think he's doing it.
That's the thing. It's not about the first wave. It's about the second. It's about the third. It's about the fact that Haas is relentless. And Cham is slowly falling apart. He has a couple more reinforcements trickling in. Can he stop the warp in?
Man, that Immortal came so close to dying here. It's really low on health. The Queen does get taken out, so that should be the last of the anti. Yeah, this Warp Prism has free reign. He has just has to be very careful that he doesn't take a hit from any drone or ling on this Immortal, as the shields haven't regenerated yet, as down goes the Immortal.
The Immortal finally goes down, but is it too late? That is the question. A lot of roaches have already gone down. Zealots once again being warped in. They are slow. They can be kited back, but there is very limited room to kite.
Yeah, Cham finds a little corner here that he can help kite into, but at the same time, we do see he's down to 25 drones, so Haas does have the opportunity to go for a second warp in here. I think he does need to back off just for a moment, just to re-establish himself. He doesn't have the gas to make a second Immortal either. This is where things start to get a little bit awkward, as he is getting towards mining out in his main. He is sort of losing momentum here.
He's losing momentum, but Haas is also transitioning. He has pulled back into gas. We have a second gas geyser on the way. He is probing. He is looking to try and tech up. I imagine getting to a Twilight Council, maybe even a Robotic Spay. We do see Cham is denying at least the triangular third, but Haas has the opportunity to expand on the left-hand side.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have a lot of links and roaches here for Cham, so I do think that once Haas tries to take a third, it would be a good time for him to attack.
Yeah, speaking of, here we go. The third base is going to be on the way. Cham does have eyes on this. He's going to be able to delay it a little bit here due to his link control. At the same time, the Prism is going to sneak into the main base. We do have a couple of Fs.
Yeah, there we go. They will be deflected. All the roaches and banelings are at home here. And it does look like Cham is almost gets that probe, but the Zealots are just going to be able to escort that over. He's doing a really good job delaying the third base from coming up.
Oh, he really is. And oh no, Haas, the probe goes down.
The probe goes down. These four lings have been so annoying to deal with. And now he's going to get almost a full scout. He is going to get a full scout. The Immortal was on move commander.
On move commander, this is a pretty important. Oh my god, as the Zergling spasses out a little bit, but he confirms that a Robotics Bay is on the way, so he knows that again he doesn't have to worry about charges, he doesn't have to worry about blink either. He has to be a lot more concerned with a response that makes sense, disruptors. But before that happens, Haas is exposed.
Oh yeah, that Immortal almost getting caught out. Doesn't really take any hull damage there, just a tiny bit. So nice recall there, but a little bit unfortunate to have to use that. So we do see he still hasn't put down a third.
Yeah, exactly. Because of this Overlord, he's waiting for the creep to recede here at the triangular location. Cham, he's working on roaches. He's working on roach speed. I imagine he wants to try and hit a timing here if the third gets taken.
Yeah, it does look like he is going to be able to save that probe his Haas, but the third only just going down now. And meanwhile, behind this back at home, Cham has been able to drone on up. He is up to 45 drones now, so he has, with that Ling Micro, with that constant distraction, sort of negated the damage that came out from that opening from House.
Yeah, economically, Cham still isn't where he wants to be there. Like, being ahead 5 workers isn't ideal against a Protoss, but Haas is still very behind in his tech. He does now have his first disruptor though, so even if Cham tries to break the third base, he's gonna have a hard time pushing into purification overs.
Yeah, there we go. So that hasn't been revealed yet either. The War Prism is going to be picking that on up. And yeah, this Mass Zealot without the charge, it's very awkward.
It's very awkward to just look at as well. It's like, it just doesn't feel normal. It doesn't feel right. Meanwhile, here we go. The first Nova's going to be going off. We do have a split. Does get 2 roaches.
Yeah, I mean, Haas knows his crazy build's the best, but I feel like at this point it might have been worth it just to get a Twilight Council and research charge, considering how many Zealots survive. But anyway, Cham is coming in here with the roaches, with the banelings, with this attack.
Yeah, exactly. And the Nova still has not reset. The roaches seem to be overwhelming what little there is left. We do have the Nexus finishing up. There is that clutch overcharge.
Yeah, nice pre-spray coming out from Cham, though, not giving any opportunity for Haas to land a big Nova. And there we go, complete whiff of that Nova. That is the signal for Cham to get on there. He jumps straight on top of those shield batteries, and he will be starting to break through the army here.
Here we go. Our second disruptor is going to come out for Haas. The Nova's going to be going off. Nice splits, though. Once again, only gets 2 roaches, so Cham just has a little bit too much. GG gets called, and Cham takes the first game.
GG, and an insane game between those two players. It looked like Cham dominantly cleaned up that first wave of the all-in, but then Haas, with those constant warpins right in his face, almost ending the game, and Cham holding on there by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah. There were many moments at the start of that game with that slow lot all in where we were both very concerned for Cham's life. He was losing so many drones, he was losing so many queens, so many roaches, but his macro never slipped up. He was very resilient in that defense, and with every single roach that was coming out, he was microing his heart out, he was controlling his heart out, and he was barely able to hold on. It was quite close though, very close.
Oh yeah, just barely manages to hold on, but hold on he does. And Cham gets the first win on the board.
He does get that first win on the board. Oh boy, and we'll see how this all kind of culminates here, how the series will progress in game number 2. It looks like the map that has been chosen is Cosmic Sapphire.
Yeah, so there we go. We'll be heading to Cosmic Sapphire. Definitely a map that's on the bigger side, does give these two players a bit more room to work, and I think Haas probably not going to be going for a slow charge, a slow zealot all in.
I want to say,
so weird to say.
Yeah, I want to say he won't go for a slow load all in, but Pez did do it to Chappie on this map.
I mean, you never know with this player, and here he is in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. Now for Psystorm, this is Haas.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire, we have his opponent, the Mexican Zerg player representing Team GP. It is Cham. And as we get into game number 2, I want to give another special shout out to someone in the chat, to Jadolf, for subscribing for 13 months, just over a year. Thank you so much, Bobby, for the support. I guess I have to read out his message.
Yeah, it's the greatest Pez tweet. It's the greatest Pez bait tweet of all time.
And he's had quite a lot of them.
This is the best one.
It's crazy how boring EPT EU is compared to all the other regions. Watch Taiwan, and Haas is playing PvZ Mass Ruptor Charged Up. Watch EU, and they're all like 3 Oracle macro play. So honorable. Learn a different build.
Learn a different build.
True. Oh my god. Shout out to Pez. We were talking about him earlier because of the disgusting slow lot play, and I can't imagine we're going to see that 2 games in a row.
Yeah, it would be surprising for sure. As here we go, we do see Haas is going to be dropping that Cybercore, moving out for a very late scout here. I was thinking that he might be headed over to the gold, but no, it does look like he's actually just going to be scouting with this probe.
Yeah, very peculiar scout timing, as you mentioned. Typically, we see the probe moving out earlier to try and deny the natural base, but I guess because this is a bit of a larger map, he didn't quite want to go for that and risk not being able to delay.
It actually times out the same as a Terran scout. That's kind of funny.
There you go.
As we do have, it's going to be Robo first coming out from Haas.
Again, another Robo opening from Haas. We saw what it led to last game. I can't imagine it'll be the same. This can also lead to, say, a Disruptor drop opening or something along those lines.
Yeah, there we go. So there are definitely a few different options here. Considering it is Haas, I could see this going into some all-ins as well with a very fast warp prism, but we haven't seen a second gate go down just yet.
Yeah, the lack of gateways does lead us to believe that this is going to be a little bit more tech heavy instead of gateway heavy, or gateway army heavy, I should say, but we'll see what gets thrown down after this Robo. Meanwhile, on the side of Cham, he's just droning, nothing too crazy going on here. There is that prism being produced.
Yeah, there we go. So it is going to be a prism after all, and I have to wonder if this is going to be some kind of fake all-in, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, He does have 2 more gates behind this, so 3 gate aggression here. He did pull out of gas once again, so he's gonna be applying pressure with it's slow lots, mate. With the immortal, he's doing it again. He's
doing it again. This is, oh my god. He's an animal. This build's crazy. I kind of want to try it. I just want to see what happens. I don't think it's gonna work. It actually looks pretty hard to execute, but I'm gonna see how it goes.
6 gates. We have 7 gates in total. Nothing but minerals on the way here for Haas as he's going for another slow lot all in. Didn't quite work out in game number 1. We'll see if it works out here in game number 2. Cham is working with very limited scouting information right now. He is happily droning up to 40, which is okay. He has a roach warren on the way, but he's missing something he had last game. No baling nest.
Yeah, interestingly, is going to be going for a little bit of a different approach to this. It looks like Haas did a better job of denying the scouting here, but Cham anyway, just going to be stopping on 40 drones here, and I really like this decision, specifically against Haas, especially not seeing a 3rd base go down. I think it's pretty safe to assume that something of this nature is coming, but...
Yeah. It's just, without Banelings, I don't know if this is really going to work out. We do see Lings getting a full surround on the army, but yeah, Cham recognizes that that's a fight he cannot win. Roaches are trickling on out from the 3rd base, and they're going to get picked off as they reinforce. The Queen's taking a lot of hits as well. Lings do try and buy a little bit of time, but mate, Haas has no chill.
Yeah, 3 roaches go down, and Haas is going to be charging straight on in there. We do see him trying to target down the Queen. The drones are going to be pulled into these charge lots, into these zealots, and this is kind of the strength of this build. Despite them being slow zealots, you do have to deal with them. You have to come to them, and every drone from this natural mineral line is going to go down. I think Haas has done it this time.
Yeah, Haas has done it. He brute forces his way through the natural base. Every drone is full, and the Queens are going down. The Prism barely survives.
The Prism lives, it gets its 2nd warp in off, and with only the main base of mining here, there is no way Cham is going to be able to get together enough units to hold this, especially with good micro on this Immortal.
Yeah, the damage has already been done from this point. I mean, if Haas really wanted to, he could even start taking up from here. He is that far ahead economically. We see another warp in of Zealots. These roaches, they can kite their hearts out, don't get us wrong, but he just gets zoned away and out positioned, and now Haas is going into the main.
He just kills the roach warren. It's like, you can't kite me with the roaches if you can't make roaches.
Roach warren's gonna go down. We can only see Lings in production for Cham, and we can see right now he's just huffing that copium. He wants to try and believe he can deal with this, but mate, there's no way.
Yeah, I love the way that Haas just splits his army in 2, because how are you going to deal with slow loads? You have to kite constantly, and you can't do that in 2 locations. This GG is called, and Haas, he pulls the SpongeBob. He says, "You want to see me do it again?"
Oh, wow. GG. I. Well played by Haas, whipping out the same build, but executing it a little bit better in a certain sense. You did touch on it, talking about how he did a better job at just hiding the build overall. Cham was in the dark. He didn't know what he was up against. He was playing it safe, cutting drones at 40, as you were saying, but he didn't have a Bailey nest this time, and he was kind of caught in a really kind of awkward angle as well, as roaches were being produced from the 3rd that he had to kind of protect, because otherwise they would die, but they died anyway. It was like, it was rough.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's kind of hidden as well just by the fact that he did it last game, and it's not really what you would expect.
Yeah, he wouldn't do it he wouldn't do it 3 games in a row, right? Oh no.
Yes.
I mean, you know, it clearly works. And game number 3 is going to be on a smaller map. We're loading into Inside and Out. Not a bad map for a slow load all in.
Yeah, I mean, here we go. We are going to be once again on a little bit of a smaller map, as spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map. He's crazy. He's wild. He's slow with his zealots. It is Haas.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out, we have El Champion of Latino America. Oh, having a hard time against this all-in. Can he adapt on the fly? Representing Team GP, it is Cham.
And here we go. Haas once again just going to delay his scout a little bit. Isn't going to be going for a block instead, just going for a bit of a gate scout here, although he is sending this probe on a bit of an interesting path.
Oh. The probe is having a bit of a wander here on the right hand side. He is going to be avoiding the path of the Overlord, is going to be slipping in towards that natural. We do have the second Overlord parked on top of the base. Cham once again pre-pulls a drone, and there's the forge.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
He knew it was going to happen sometime as we do see his probe. He's just going to be walking up into the main, going to be getting a full scout here. Cham going to be keeping that drone down to the south there. It's going to be interesting to see if Haas has an adjustment to make for this.
Yeah, second drone is being pulled as well. Cham knows that something is wrong here, so he is going to be patrolling this area. Bearing in mind that Haas went for a gate forge, and there we go, he cancels the forge, recognizing that he cannot pull one over on Cham.
I love that. Cancels the forge, but still
Yeah.
is going to try to sell this.
Oh my god, yeah, he throws down a pylon anyway. We'll see if Cham takes the bait. So far he has. He pulls 2 more drones, so is reacting quite hard. Not a massive reaction, but a reaction nonetheless.
Yeah, and there we go. We do get the cancel, so that will signify the end of this little rush here. Not too much lost mining there for Cham. I think roughly equivalent to the cancel there on that pylon, as we do see Has is going to be getting a full scout of everything that's going on in the base. Does have just that very slight delay as well from cancelling that forge on his cyber, but nothing too major.
Yeah, so some mind games are going on. Again, Cham correctly identifying the threat that he was under. He's doing it again! He's doing it again! Wait, or is he? He took double gases this time.
Yeah, so it looks like he is going to go for that fast robo again. Maybe go for a little bit of an all-in that perhaps plays off looking like that last build. I'm not sure. We'll see what he throws down next.
Yeah, it is a robo opener overall, so very similar, but we're going to have a lot more gas to work with this time. I'm curious to see if Haas pulls out once again and he just wants to prioritize gas a little bit faster, but for the time being, no, he's continuing gas production, so yeah, doing this a little bit differently.
Yeah, there we go. So we just see that extra gateway going down. If there is going to be a robo base, it's going to be now, and there we go. So we are going to be having something a little bit different coming out from Haas, as we do have some extra gateways as well. He is full walling at the front. Man, it's an ugly wall.
Oh my god. I mean, you know, if it gets the job done, it gets it done. As we are going to be having 3 gates in total and a Twilight Council follow-up as well. This is so greedy. My question to you was going to be, do you think he's going to go for a Colossi or a Disruptor? Because it's hard. Like, it could be either one.
I think a Disruptor, but with that Twilight going down as well, I wonder if he's looking to go into DTs behind this. This is one of the advantages that you have as a very cheesy player, especially one that's shown that you're so crazy that you can just go for that same build twice. One of the advantages that you do have is you probably are going to get a lot of room to work because your opponent's just worried about your very fast all-in hitting at like 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah, it could be anything. We did see the Overlord actually did scout the Robo, so he's fully aware of that. But he also saw the gas that was mining as well, so he is in the dark. We do see him applying a little bit of pressure. I like this from Cham. He's getting some safety spores in all of his bases.
Yeah, I think Haas is trying to show the same thing again because he has those gateways at the front. He shows a Zealot warp in as well, a nice early Zealot warp in. He's still quite a long ways off charge, but yeah, it looks like this is going to be some kind of late charge all in as he has completely pulled off gas now.
Yeah, and mate, like Jadoff, he knows. He was memeing at the start of the game. He's like, maybe this time he does it with charge, and he actually is. Oh my god, how does he know, Buffy?
As there we go, we do have a second Disruptor coming out. The Queen positioning is very good for Cham, but oh, big ball!
Ooh. Nice.
Just one Baneling going down. Good splits.
Nice last second split there from Cham. He does avoid disaster. He's going for a counterattack again. Now he's fully aware that we have a very different build here from Haas. He does reveal his Disruptor, and he's going to be able to see a wall of Zealots. This could tip him off that it is going to be charge.
Yeah, we have this wall of the Zealots holding the line against the the 300, not the 300, the 10,000 Persian Zerglings. They say, Zealots, what is your profession? Whew. Oh.
Slow, lots. Oh god. As we do see 2 prisms out. Oh my god, double disruptor
that's so
micro.
sick.
Let's
Oh
go.
What is going on?
Oh, does he have the control to pull this off? We're gonna find out as we're gonna see disruptors both in the main and the third base.
Oh, and there is a spore in the main. It looks like all the queens are going to be pushing this back. The Banelings get good connections. The disruptor is safe, though. Has protects his ball, as we do have charge revealed. But I think there's going to be enough Banelings here. I don't think this is going to work out. We do see a nice Nova going to be coming out, but doesn't really take that much connections on the Banes, and every Zealot goes down almost instantly.
Man, not just the Zealots, the Disruptor went down as well. Only 1 Disruptor is remaining, and that Prism is being taken down just barely. He does escape. Haas, he's backed off, he's forced away, but so far the first wave has been defended.
Yeah, very solid defense here from Haas. Oh, and the Banelings, they morph in just in time. They get great connections with these charge lots, and does look like that second disruptor shot really not going to be getting the connections it needs, and this is looking fantastic for Cham.
Yeah, Cham gets a full surround. He's going to be able to completely clean this up. It looks like 1 disruptor is going to be saved by that prism, but at the end of the day, the power of this push from Haas was to split away the attention of Cham. Because of the beautiful defense in the main base, his attention was not split apart. And now Haas, what does he do from here? There's no transition. There's no way to expand and take a third base. Cham is working on his lair.
That's cute. You see that? There's a little pylon trick there. You can force your probe out through the wall.
Yeah, he does force it through. Meanwhile, another Nova goes off. Not the best connection. He's going for a ninja. He's going for a ninja.
There we go. He's going to be taking that ninja base up to the north. Has some extra disruptors coming out. Has an observer on the way as well, but it's going to be very hard to hold the front. I do like that he has all big buildings at the front. There's no battery, no pylon or anything like that, so it is going to be a little bit easier to hold a counterattack.
It is a very solid wall here. We do have a warp in back at home of pure Zealots. Haas knows that he has to try and do whatever he can to come back in this game. He knows he's up against the wall, and a ninja base is definitely a way to do it. But Cham now has momentum. He now has roach speed on the way, and soon he will be going for a counterattack.
Yeah, there we go. We just see this double disruptor drop being sent on out. Cham has to be wondering what's going on since he sees no third, and he's gonna have to be wondering as well if there's some kind of weird tech coming his way, if there's some crazy second wave of the 2 base all in that's being held back.
And for the time being, we do see a couple of disruption novas going off. 1 queen goes down. The Zealots do come in to reinforce. Cham is going to be forced to respond to this aggression, but this wasn't the biggest push. And I'm sure, as you were saying, Cham must be thinking to himself, there has to be something else. There has to be either tech or a base somewhere. For the time being, he's being preoccupied by these Zealots, but once that gets cleaned up, he should be pushing out.
Yeah, these Zealots have been taking some really terrible trades against the Lingbane of the Cham. Cham doing such a good job with the hold here. We do see 1 of these roaches going to be going down to the Nova. Maybe 2 more here, but these are really not getting the kind of connections that they need, as we do see this one time the Zealots actually going to be taking a good trade against those Zealots and against the Lynx, sorry, as we do see that extra prism. There's balls everywhere.
Oh my god, he has another disruptor. Balls are coming from every direction right now, all at Cham, but he's ready for them. He does split up beautifully once again. The Banelings have survived. They're rushing in towards those Zealots. Up!
Yeah, nice connections. We do see finally a really nice Nova taking out quite a few of the roaches here, but the roaches are going to be able to start to get on top of this gateway. There isn't really a good angle to throw a Nova in from either. Cham's doing a great job covering these prisms.
You know what I see? I see a lack of detection. Dark Shrine is about to finish up. DTs can defend, but how much damage is going to be done before that happens? The wall will soon no longer be a wall, but the Nova goes up!
Huge Nova!
Haas
finds an angle with that disruptor. The trickiness of the double war prism finally paying off, and I think he might just have enough to push back Cham, but some good roach micro going to be punishing these Zealots a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the Disruption Nova was just a little bit too good. The Purification Nova was too juicy, and now Cham has to respect this. He plummeted 20 supply. He is going to be able to dance with this army, but again, DTs will change the dynamic of this fight.
We do have this quad disruptor drop up in the air. Pretty difficult thing to control.
Yeah. But you know, mad respect for Haas for trying to pull that off, I should say. You heard of the quad Thor drop. Here's the quad disruptor drop. As we do see once again, the Roaches trying to force themselves up this ramp, but with 4 disruptors, they're having a hard time.
Yeah, decent connections. We do see a really nice spread coming out from Cham. Is going to be able to arc out outside there. The first DT comes in for Haas. Looks like he has found the Spore. I think he's going to need to... Yeah, there we go. He does pull it away from the Spore. Nicely done. Good attention to detail.
Ooh, meanwhile, an all-army move command here. A lot of Roaches are going to be going down on the front lines. A bit of a mistake from Cham. Maybe a reaction to those DTs. And he's going to be losing a lot of Roaches.
Yeah, there we go. And I do see the potential for a very big Nova here. Cham sees it too. He'll back off for just a moment.
Yeah, for just a moment, he will back off. He's working on more of these upgrades, but pushing into disruptors is never an easy thing to do with Roaches just because of how slow and clunky they are. No, 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 no!
No! Oh! Oh, no.
The second Nova goes off, the second juiciest Nova of the game. We do see Haas is now, he just recalled towards the ninja base. He can now start
he hasn't seen this disruptor.
Mining.
Oh, okay, he's just going to clean it up anyway. But these Roaches, if they retreated, they would have been retreating into the disruptor.
Yeah, there's disruptors all over the place, and it looks like, once again, Cham is forced back. He's still making nothing but Roaches, by the way. He hasn't teched up into a Spire. He hasn't teched up into Mutas. Hasn't made any Ravagers either. I worry, with lack of Ling Bane, he's having a hard time here, but here we go. He's pushing in again.
Yeah, there we go. Meanwhile, Haas, he still has his base mining to the top left-hand corner. He has full energy on that, so I would like to see him maybe recall some of the probes from the oversaturated natural here.
Yeah,
that's he just hasn't had the time.
Yeah, he's just a little bit too preoccupied with this fight. Here we go, more Novas. Oh my god, another massive Nova goes off on the Roaches. There's still a lot of army here for Cham.
Yeah, that disruptor there has 33 kills, and I have to think most of those are Roaches.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. But Cham is breaking through. He's getting a kill on the Cybercore.
Yeah, Cybercore is going to be going down. We do have one more disruption Nova being sent out, but Cham, relentless with the Roaches, fearless in the face of Haas's disruptors.
Ooh, exactly. Meanwhile, your wish is answered as we do see a recall towards the ninja base. The natural base has been alleviated. A lot of Novas are going up, but he has to be a little bit careful. If he's too frivolous with these disruptors, he will be caught with his pants down. He'll be caught in a situation where he won't have any left, and then the Roaches can push in.
Yeah, there we go. We do see a Zealot warp in as well from that ninja base. A little bit of a risky move here is going to give away that there's at least a pylon up towards that side. Otherwise, Cham would have seen these units coming out. So definitely feeling a little bit of desperation coming out from Haas.
You say pylon, really he has a third prison, mate. It's as we do see the Roaches slipping in towards the main base. The lack of gateway units is really hurting Haas, but he has DTs to help clean up in the end. Meanwhile, the Zealot run by runs into reinforcements.
Yeah, there we go. That Zealot run by will be cleaned up, and Cham just showing the power of patience, of good control, of strong macro. Despite all the craziness coming out from Haas, it does feel like he is just going to be able to power through it.
Yeah, it looks like it should just be a little bit too much. The Roaches have broken on through. We have a wave of reinforcing Zealots coming in, but it may just not be enough as the Roaches are even getting on top of the disruptors.
Yeah, there's just not enough gateway units here to keep the Roaches off of the disruptors, and we do see some pretty good Novas coming down, but it feels like it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, GG gets called. Oh, and Cham ends up defending the charge lot all in, whatever nonsense we saw this game, and he wins the series.
GG, Cham just managing to pull that one out. But man, it was a stressful one. It was insane.
Oh my god, there were so many Novas that went off that literally got like the most value that they could have gotten.
Yeah, that one in the middle was gross.
Yeah, oh my god, so many times. But thankfully, as you were saying, the economy and the macro of Cham was too good. He was losing a lot of Roaches, but he was also replacing a lot of Roaches. And even though Haas did get the ninja base up and running, even though the game ended without Cham scouting that base, and to this day, he may not even know. He may not even know that there was a base there in the top left-hand corner of the map. In the end, it didn't quite matter. You know, it took Haas a little bit too long to saturate that base for it to really kick in and influence his production and influence his army.
Yeah, exactly. And just like that, Cham, he stands strong, he defends, and he will be progressing.
GG, well played. He'll be progressing on in the knockout brackets, where I believe he did end up facing another player, which was covered by another stream, if I recall correctly. Oh no, sorry, he actually advances. Oh my god, he wins that series and he moves on to Group Stage 3. So very nicely done here by Cham. Meanwhile, we are hopping over to the highlight matches of the night. It's been a long time coming, Asher. We're finally here.
We've done it. It was all a trap. I just wanted to cast a beer. 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later.
I knew that if we casted this in the beginning, you'd be done. You'd be like, all right, I don't want to cast any more DreamHack replays, all right? I'm done. I'm out of here. We have arrived. We are casting the king of our region of C. It is me and Micah.